actually started singing when I was 12. Well, sorry.
What I want to be when I grow up is an astronaut.
When Greg gets on stage, when he's playing on drums, literally,
when my I got chicken put my Tourette's, you know, it's like chicken, you know, that watch it.
Sperm in my coffee! Get the fuck off! They put sperm in my coffee!
Nanny's a porn star.
Fuck you!
So that would be aggressive. Charlie, can you sit down?
She's
Charlie.
being gay!
Does it take a while?
Bullets! Bullets! Winkers!
Fuck you all! Especially that pedo behind the camera! For fuck's sake, we're not Adolf Hitler, you prick! Lick it, lick it! Alright, I'll sort out some wanker. Oh, you know what, Mum? Just shut the fuck up.
Get the feeling that you want to knock that over, okay? And yet, not knock it over. Is that right?
Yeah. Look, you can see your wrinkles better.
What do you say, please?
Sorry, wanker.
Oh, that must have hurt.
All right.
Hurts. Push him. It's a motherfucking dingo. Can we kill him yet?
Winkers! Oh, wait.
Biscuit.
Take the biscuit.
Ah, biscuit. Biscuit. Oh, he's cheating on you. Oh, he's cheating on you.
His body is doing these things. Do you feel like you have any control over it, or are your arms just
In a tick. He wouldn't mind that line. He's turned his condition into his livelihood.
Of a mirror. Winkers! Wow! Wow! Shaggy! I've never watched.
Yeah.
Does that hurt? Do you ever hurt yourself?
No.
You wouldn't want it to be less of a hassle.
Here, you slag.
She's definitely good-looking girl. Thundercats. Kick him in the nuts.
what it is and how it affects you. There it goes.
As long as it's not an STD. Cat AIDS. What? Symptom of. Alright, mate. Alright. Alright, mate.
The carrots, really.
I'm just waiting for all people to fuck off. Knock at the door. Hey! With Tourette's. Someone's knocking at the door. Hey! Bollocks!
Fuck off, you bitch.
Hey! Fucking hell!
Hello, Trina.
Are you okay? Nice to meet you.
Hello.
You never met anyone before, have you?
No, no one.
Hello, hi guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello, mate. Nice
Nice to meet you. How do you, man?
Hey.
Steve, mate. Nice to meet you.
Hey, love it.
Hiya. Hey.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Hey. Hello. Hey, fuckers. Hey. What you back, man? Boyfriend that I was suppressing. Yeah, I was talking to my other half.
Hello. 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 I'm not home. Bye.
People with Tourette's often trigger each other's tics. The anxiety of new situations can also make tics worse.
Wait, we're not really going to talk because our tics are too busy chatting for us to chat.
We're in too deep.
So when did your tics start? Well, it started when I was 21, but I had like a seizure and it all just started from there. But it started like with like a little twitch in the shoulder. And only about a year ago it started getting worse and I had to leave my job and stuff like that. I kept throwing stuff and then in October last year I got diagnosed.
I, like you, had to leave my job because I couldn't work. I was throwing things and I couldn't walk even.
Really?
Yeah.
I won't even tell people. Sometimes I won't even tell people I've got Tourette's because why should I have to explain to myself? And a lot of people say to me, "How do you cope?" And they go, "I'm used to it." And they say, "But you shouldn't have to get used to it." I said, "Yeah, but you've got to. You've got to have that. You know, I don't care now anymore."
Yeah, it's like not going away soon, is it? So.
It's never going away. It's part of me. Don't like it, do one.
Yeah.
Just hearing the experiences they've had, it's just kind of got me thinking, maybe I'm letting my anxiety take over a bit more, like, fuck off, and it shouldn't be. You know, I've had a brilliant time with the group today, and I'm totally drained. You know, my body's aching. Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. It's just ready to be a bit relaxed now and chilled. Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. No.
Watch out, we're contagious.
Meet Adam, James, and Cameron. They've been brought together by a special bond.
He's hot.
A bond that at times raises eyebrows. That bond is Tourette's syndrome.
Granny's a slut.
It always flares up in public. Like, you'll be sitting at home. It won't happen a lot. Sometimes you'll shout something out, you know, something random, swearing or whatever. You make yourself laugh.
Fuck!
Adam's Tourette's is a constant companion.
Fuck! Fuck!
Adam!
His vocal and physical tics are completely involuntary. But watch this.
When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been working every day and night. That's when a superhero learns to fly.
And action!
Stick your finger in it.
Do you have any theories on why music seems to make Tourette's go away?
You lose focus of absolutely everything around you. You know, the anxiety goes down, you know, what you're having for dinner, you forget about that. You're just thinking about the song and you get this feeling. And I think that feeling is the thing that kind of eliminates the Tourette's, to be honest.
So you're looking forward to tonight?
Yeah.
Today, Adam Liddell is a happy teenager with a bright future. After his diagnosis at 13, he thought his life had been ruined until this.
So this is the moment your life changed?
Yeah, pretty much. The first time I'd ever seen Tourette's before, so...
Adam saw our Sunday night story about Jess Tom, also known as Tourette's hero.
I'm Tourette's hero, Biscuit. I am the world's first, Biscuit.
She's most famous for one of her most persistent tics.
Biscuit, Biscuit. Biscuit, 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 Biscuit. Beans. Biscuit, 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 Biscuit. Biscuits.
She had such a good attitude about it. And I thought, you know, that's exactly the kind of attitude I want to have with it. You know, I don't want to be upset about it. I want to see that you can use it to make other people's lives better.
Hey! Hello.
So when Jess came to Australia to perform her stage show, Adam had to be there.
What's your name?
Not only will Adam get to meet his hero,
James, nice.
but he also met James Sayers and Cameron Schubert, and an instant and loud brotherhood was formed.
Give Jack a run for their money. Random.
Please welcome to the stage, Jess Tom!
They're in for quite a show. Each person's Tourette's sets off the others.
Hello! Hey, what's that? Biscuit, hello. Biscuit, my name's Jess. Biscuit, I'm an artist, writer, Biscuit, and part-time superhero. Biscuit. Biscuit, I also have Tourette's syndrome. Biscuit. Hey, what's that? Biscuit, it's a neurological condition. Biscuit. Biscuit. Biscuit, that means I make movements and noises I can't control, called tics. Biscuit, you've probably noticed already, but I say biscuit quite a lot.
Jess's stage show, Backstage in Biscuitland, is a glimpse into the life of someone with Tourette's.
Having Tourette's gives me a very wiggly body, Biscuit, that's constantly on the move. Biscuit, my most frequent tic involves punching my chest. Biscuit, it's happening now, and now, and now. Biscuit.
The boys are rapt.
She's pretty big.
It's not every day they get to see a performer with Tourette's.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Biscuit Cumberbatch, fucked a chicken. Oh, no.
Or be in an audience where their spontaneous vocal and physical tics a cause for celebration, not shame.
How do you explain to people why these words come out of your mouth involuntarily?
Biscuit, well, Tourette's is a neurological condition, Biscuit, it's a complex condition, Biscuit, and exactly why, Biscuit, tics happen is still being investigated and still being more being found out about that all the time, Biscuit. But Biscuit, what I can say is that I definitely haven't, Biscuit, had any traumatic experiences with biscuits. Biscuit, I don't think about biscuits, Biscuit, nearly as much as I talk about them, and I'm not hungry, Biscuit. My thoughts are totally biscuit-free, Biscuit, and they're just an automatic interruption into my Biscuit hedgehog into my speech. Biscuit, cats, hello, beans. We're out of time. Biscuit, no. Biscuit, I hope you've enjoyed being in Biscuitland. Shit.
For Adam, the best part of the show was yet to come.
Thank you so much for coming to the show, Biscuit. Oh, Biscuit.
You have no idea how much you've inspired me. You know, if it wasn't for you, I used to look at Tourette's in such a dark light. I went through a dark time. And, you know, it was you that kind of, you know, brought positive light to it and allowed me to inspire others.
So much to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That means a lot to me.
Last year, Adam touched hearts across the country, finishing runner-up in The Voice. It's an incredible achievement, given what Tourette's had almost taken from him.
I was at the point where I did try and take my life at one point because, you know, it was so hard to deal with it. The people, the negative comments that kept getting thrown your way, and there's a point where you just think, this is it, you know.
How old were you then?
That was 13, 14, so, you know, just as you hit the teenage years. I was new to the country as well, trying to make friends, and all of a sudden, you know, it just all kind of went downhill.
How old were you when you experienced what you now know to be a tic?
Well, I mean, it started off with quite minor things, you know, throat clearing, arm stretching. And then one day, it was literally overnight. Woke up the next day and all of a sudden my head started jerking. I was like, you know, what's going on here? I started to yell out drop all the time. I was going, drop, rip, drop, drop, like 24/7. 2 or 3 months later, I progressed into swearing, and it was a very fast transition, so very scary.
Only Cam and I understand metal.
Tourette's is a mysterious syndrome, no exact cause or cure, affecting 1 in 100 Australians.
I think as a parent, all we wanted to do was stop it, and went through a stage where I pushed the neurologist to give him more and more drugs, and that was probably the worst thing to do because Adam, at his age, was now not Adam because the side effects were affecting him. And Adam actually came to me and said to me one day, Dad, if I have to be on these drugs, I'd rather not be.
It took the Tourette's away, so I went without Tourette's for a while, but I was extremely tired and depressed at the same time, so it was a terrible combination.
If you could take it away from him, you would.
Definitely, definitely. God. Of course I would.
The youngest of the trio is 11-year-old Cameron, who just wants to be a normal kid.
I'm not going to let my Tourette's stop me from having a happy life.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
An astrophysicist.
But his Tourette's can make the classroom challenging.
What does it feel like?
How you need to sneeze and you can't stop it. If you get a sneeze, you feel it coming on, and then you just